talk with you, Diksha, then you can submit. Okay, so Harsh says that yesterday, in the previous lecture, we discussed about the A star. So Harsh, can you tell us what is the A star? Hardik also says that we discussed about the heuristic function, that is h of n. Okay, that is correct. So Hardik, can you tell me what is the heuristic function and what we discussed in the previous lecture? Yes, guys. If you want to speak, you can speak. That is good for us. So Hardik is saying that we discussed that A star search is optimal and it depends on the value of the heuristic function. Okay, that is correct. So last time we discussed about the A star search, and the A star search is saying that it is complete, but it can be optimal if we apply some condition on the heuristic function. The heuristic function means whatever the estimated cost from node n to reach the goal. So like that we studied that if we apply some specific condition on the heuristic function, we can say that our A star is going to be uh, optimal. Otherwise it is complete and it has time complexity is order of b raised to d, and space complexity is also order of b raised to d. Okay. Okay, no problem. So it's enough. So in today's chapter, in today's lecture, we will discuss something more about the. Okay, so first I want to know from your side, the A star is informed search or uninformed search? What is the type of A star search? Before going to, so Harsh is saying that informed search. Why it is informed search? Because we are applying some logic. That logic is saying that we are going to use heuristic values, and on the base of that heuristic value, we are going to get the path that is cheaper as compared to others. That is cheaper as compared to others. So yes, this is the A star is informed search. So that is from last session. So now we will discuss something. So again we are continue with the chapter number 3. Again we are going to continue with chapter number 3. So you can say in the chapter number 3 we discuss this brute force also, we discuss branch and bound, and we discuss best first search, and in best first search we discuss two things. One is the greedy best first search and second is the A star. We discussed two things in the best first search. One is the greedy best first search and second is the A star. And last time we also discussed about the admissibility of A star. And so now from today's lecture, we will discuss about this thing, iterative deepening A star. So we can start from this topic, and now we are going to study this one. So in today's lecture, you can see the objective is you can learn about the iterative deepening search, and the iterative deepening search is basis for the iterative deepening A star search. After that, you will learn about the AO star algorithm and what are the outcome of this lecture. So after the completion of this lecture, you can explain what is the iterative deepening search, that is the basic for the iterative deepening A star search. And after the completion of this lecture, you can also able to explain iterative deepening A star, and we will be able to explain AO star algorithm, and at last you can compare each and every algorithm how they are different from each other. So these are the objective and outcome of today's lecture. So first we will discuss about the iterative deepening search. First we will discuss about the iterative deepening search, that is the basic for iterative deepening A star search. So our today's title is iterative deepening A star search. But before start of the iterative deepening A star search, we have to know what is the iterative deepening search. What is the iterative deepening search? So in that reference, we are going to study this iterative deepening search. So this iterative deepening search is also known as iterative deepening search is also known as the depth first search. So depth first search means whatever the result we are going to get with the help of the method, that is in the form of the depth wise search. So this is the, you can see it is one variant, or you can see it is the any kind of the combination of the search technique that is going to use depth first search. And in the combination of depth first search, it is going to find the best depth. It means at this depth I can find the goal. You can say this is the, it is used in combination with the depth first search, and that is going to find out the best depth limit. So why we need best depth limit? Because we need some goal. So to get this goal, we have to limit our depth. So after that limit, we are not going to be in any kind of condition where we are going to be made into the infinite loop. So we are interested to find the best depth, and after at that depth we are definitely going to get the result. So how it is work? It is going to search by gradually increasing the limit. It means first it is first it is explore the depth 0, after then it explore depth 1, after that it explore depth 2, and so on until unless the goal is not found. So if we talk about the iterative deepening search on the basis of these three statements, what is the type of this iterative deepening search? Either informed search or uninformed search. What is the type of this one? Whatever the information available on this slide, after considering this information, what is the type of this search? Can anybody say me? Yes, guys. Tell me, what is the type of this one? Okay, so my question is, based on the discussion that is written on the slide, what is the type of the iterative deepening search? It is informed search or uninformed search. It means you have two type of search. One is the informed search, one is the uninformed search. So what is the category of this search? Yes, Harsh is saying that it is uninformed search. So Harsh, can you explain us why it is uninformed search? So Harsh is saying that it is using the DFS, and DFS is uninformed search, where we are going to search as per the depth wise. So there is nothing else in this iterative deepening search. Just simply it is based on the DFS, and DFS is also uninformed type of search. So because of that, it is also uninformed. Okay, no problem, Harsh. I get your point. So sorry, I can't. Okay, that is the true. So it is a type of uninformed. This iterative deepening search is what? Uninformed search. So, and yes, Harsh is saying, ma'am, it is true that more is the depth, more efficient result will be. No, it is not like that. So this is the some discussion about this iterative deepening search. So it is also named as the iterative deepening depth first search, and it is uses the combination. It is used with the use depth first search to find the best depth limit. So after that, we can say that we will get the goal, and it is going to search according to gradually increasing in the limit of the depth. So it is first going to explore zero depth, after that depth 1, after that depth 2, and until unless whatever the goal we are going to get, when we find the goal, it is going to be stopped. So it is just if we want to consider in terms of the example point of view, suppose we can say the best depth bound is 1. You can say the depth limit is 1. So the procedure is going to search until unless whatever the have values inside the depth 1. If we are going to say that depth bound 2 is the best, it is going to be say that like it is search until unless depth 2. It is not going to explore at the higher depth. So after this, you can see if we are going to say that depth bound is 3, so it is going to search until unless the depth bound is 3. So he is interested to find the goal inside this depth bound. So if we talk about the depth bound 4, it is like this one. So guys, you are getting some ideas about the iterative deepening search. Okay. So this is just simple example. Okay. So the iterative deepening, you can see here, if I'm going to say that depth bound 3, and you can say we have depth bound 4. You can simply see this. This is just first completed this level 0 and 1. In the depth bound 2, it completed level 0, 1 and 2. In depth bound 3, it is completed level 0, 1, 2 and 3, like this. And in the 4, it is completed 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So we can say that it is a combination of both, where we are going to use BFS and DFS also, both. It means it is going to combine two things and two search strategies, uninformed search strategies. One is the BFS and one is the DFS, by looking the working procedure of the IDS. So why it is interested to combine these two, BFS and DFS? So here you can see it combine the benefit of BFS and DFS. So what is the benefit of BFS and what is the benefit of DFS? So can anybody tell me? By looking the working procedure of IDS, it means the iterative deepening search, we are looking that it is a combination of both. One is the DFS and one is the BFS. By looking the working of this one. So what is the benefit of BFS and what is the benefit of DFS? So Hardik is saying that first we will travel through the depth and then travel its branches on that level. It is like that. Yes, Hardik, that is true. Yes, Hardik, whatever you saying, that is the true. Okay, so it means whatever the working we see in the discussion, it means it is going to combine both the techniques. One is the BFS and one is the DFS. So why it is going to combine both? Because both have some benefit. So what is the benefit of BFS and what is the benefit of DFS? It means what is the advantage of BFS and what is the disadvantage of DFS? Can anybody tell me? Hello, Kishan Popat. What is the advantage of BFS? Okay, Hardik saying that BFS is more memory efficient. Yes, that is true. BFS is more memory efficient. So we can say that memory efficient. And Hardik also saying that, okay, Harsh is saying that BFS is complete. Okay, so BFS is complete. So Kishan, can you tell me? Yes, DFS is not optimal. That is true, but that is not an advantage, Ria. That is the disadvantage of. Uh, yes, Kishan. Why DFS is memory efficient? Yes, DFS is optimal, Ria. Hello, Kishan. Can you tell me why DFS is memory efficient? Yes, DFS is always find minimum. Not always. At some point. Hello, Kishan. Hardik says that DFS is memory efficient. Why? It finds minimum path. But Kishan, if we are talking in terms of memory, then we are going to compare the space complexity of the both. When we are going to talk about the memory, then we have to compare space complexity of the both the search technique. So you can see what is the space complexity of the BFS and what is the space complexity of DFS. So on the basis of that, we can take decision. Path is saying that DFS will only store as much memory on the stack as is required for the longest route to leaf path in the tree. Yes, Path, that is true. Okay. Path saying that because of that, it is going to be memory efficient. So, Kishan, can you tell me what is the space complexity of both search technique? Yes, Kishan. What is the complexity, space complexity of this both technique, BFS and DFS? So Kishan is saying that the space complexity of the BFS is big of B raised to D, and here is the space complexity of DFS is B into D. It is the B into D. So which one is going to be lesser? The second one, DFS. So use this. Harsh is also saying that in DFS the space used is order of h minus h length of the tree, and in the BF space is used in the width of the tree. So you can see here the space complexity for BFS is the order of B raised to D, and for DFS the space complexity of order of B into D. So as the memory requirement, DFS is better. As the memory requirement, this DFS is better. So we are going to take some benefit of the BFS and we are going to take some benefit of DFS. So what is the benefit we are going to take from the DFS? What is the benefit we are going to take from the memory? So am I correct, ma'am, on the allotment of space requirement by both? So in DFS, the space used is order of h minus h is the height of the tree, and in the BFS, the space used is order of w minus w width of the tree. So you can see, Harsh, you are saying that height of this tree, but it this height for suppose you are having some node like this. You have tree like this. Okay, just we can explain, Harsh, we can discuss. So Harsh, you are saying that in the DFS, the space use is order of h minus h. So here, Harsh, you can say this is the depth 0, this is the depth 1, and this is the depth 2. So here you can see this is the till depth h. You can say this is the till depth h where you are going to consider as a height. So if you are going to say that till this height, but at this till height, how many nodes or how many values you have to store in memory so you can take decision after that words. You have, it means whatever you are going to say, that is the incomplete, because if I am going to consider only this depth value, this depth value not going to said me that what I can do after the exploring this depth. It means at each and every depth, suppose at this depth I am going to explore this C, so I have to store this node D also and this node E also, because when I complete my D, I have to go to the next one. So if I don't store this one inside the memory, then how can I decide that now where I can go? So whatever the concept you are giving is not the correct one. So in terms of that thing, we have to go till that. I have to go till this depth. Also, I have to store whatever the whatever the child we have for C and whatever the child we have for A also. Whatever the child we have for C, and we have to store whatever the child we have for B also. So it's just simply D into B. It means I have branching factor of this no this tree is the B. Then I have to store till depth and whatever the branching factor I have. So Harsh, you get it? Okay, Harsh. So you can explain us what you want to say.
Ma'am, I meant to say that if we are searching from D,
Hmm.
so in DFS, our traversal will be A, C,
Hmm.
then D,
Yes.
and then B.
Yes.
So the space used will be 4
Why the space will be 4?
because we are stacking it, ma'am. We are using
So
a stack to store this value A, C, B, and D.
so you
So
can see
we are considering one space for one alphabet.
we are considering one space for one
One
alphabet.
alphabet,
Yes.
yeah.
So you can see we have to store inside the memory this A also, this C also, this B also, and
B
D
and
and
then D.
E also. So you
Yeah.
are saying that H order of H minus H. So what is
No,
the H?
order of H only, ma'am. Order of H where H is the height of the tree.
Where H is the height of the tree.
Height
So
of the
you can
tree.
say what is the height of tree?
There is two.
So you are saying the height of tree is the 2, and how many nodes we stored into the memory? One, two,
But
three, four, 5.
no, ma'am, in BFS we are using order of width and in DFS we are using order of height.
Uh, Harsh, you
I
are getting. So can
I
you
am no,
repeat
ma'am.
again?
I was first explaining. We are we are doing using BFS, breadth first search.
Okay.
So in breadth first search, what we are doing, we are discovering all the nodes
Yes.
in breadth wise. So our traversal will be A, C, B, and D. And
Hmm.
using DFS, we are going to go A to C to D directly.
But
Then we
suppose,
are going to go for E.
yes, yes, Harsh, we are going to D. But after the D, if my goal is not found, then what can I do? Because I store only A, C, D. Then where I
Yes.
can go?
Again to C and then D.
How
Then
I can get? I can go to C. If I simply store the values of C, I never know that what are the other child of the C.
yes.
So I have to store this one also, because I
Okay.
can
Very
know
well.
that. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So because of this, you have to multiply with the branching factor of So if you are saying this is the h, then you have to say that multiplied by branching factor. It means whatever the child we have to store, because after the goal is not found, then where I have to go. So to go to that scenario, I need to store inside the memory. So after seeing inside the memory, I can go for that node also.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So guys, the space complexity for the DFS is the order of B into D, where B is the branching factor. Here you can see the branching factor is the 2. So multiplied by 2. So here you can see that you can see that the height is the, or you can say the depth of this one is the 2. So maximum I have to store is the 4. So you can see this, I stored this one and this one and this value also. So plus 1 extra. So it is similar to B into D. It is similar to B into D. And in the BFS, we just simply explore like this. So yeah, I have to complete my level 1. After that, I have to complete level 2. So whatever the tree is going to expand, that is must be stored into the memory. So when I'm going to compare these two values, this is B, this is lesser as compared to this one. This is lesser as compared to this one. So we are going to take benefit of this memory management from the BFS, and we are going to take benefit that is the complete from the BFS. Okay, is there any doubt? Okay, is there any, if you have any doubt, you can tell me so we can discuss now. So, hello Kishan. Yes, you understood something or not? Okay, so on the basis of these two things, we can say that it is DFS is more memory efficient as compared to DFS. So this is iterative deepening search is going to combine these benefits from one from the BFS and one from the DFS. So if we talk about the depth limit 3, it is seems like that it start with this 3. This is the another example. It start with the 3 and it's explore all the values in the left hand side, and after exploring all the values in the left hand side, it is explore all the values at the right hand side like this. So if we talk about the characteristic point of view of the iterative deepening search, it is complete. Can we say it is complete? So it is complete because it is going to apply the concept of the BFS, and the concept it is going to apply is the completeness of the BFS. It means each and every time we got goal. So yes, it is complete. What about the time complexity? What is the time complexity of the BFS? So it's the order of B raised to D. Here you can see in the BFS and DFS, in the both cases, the time complexity is B raised to D. Here is also time complexity is B raised to D. So the time complexity is also is same, and that is B raised to D, order of B raised to D. What about the space complexity? Yes, Prapti. Space complexity is order of D. Hardik is saying like this. Hardik, you can see the space complexity is just similar to whatever the space complexity we have for DFS. And what is the space complexity for DFS? Depth into branching vector. Depth into branching vector. B into D. it is optimal. It is optimal or not? So it is optimal. So this is the some point about the iterative deepening search. And so can anyone explain what is the concept of iterative deepening search? So if someone is missed out, then he can also get the ideas. So Harsh, could you can you explain once again what you get from iterative deepening search? Harsh?
Yes, ma'am. In iterative deepening search, we can also call it as a deep first search.
Hmm.
Uh, then it is a combination of the it takes the benefits of both BFS and DFS.
Yes.
It does the searching gradually on increasing the limit.
Yes.
Like first it will traverse 0, then 1, then 2, then so on 0, 1, 3, 4, then 2, then again such wise until the goal is found.
Okay.
And next point is it is a complete.
Hmm.
It is optimal. The space complexity and time complexity are already given.
Okay. Okay.
More
So
speed is depth into branching factor.
okay. Okay. Okay, Harsh. So the point is when we are going to use this iterative deepening search. Now we discuss something about the concept, whatever the concept of the iterative deepening search. It means we discussed about the concept of the deepening search. Now question comes into mind where we are going to use this deepening search, iterative deepening search by looking whatever the information we discussed. The question is where we are going to use this one. So Hardik, can you tell me? Parth? Yes, guys, anyone can tell me where we are going to use this kind of search? Any idea? So the AC conclusion point of view, as a conclusion point of view, the iterative deepening search is going to be used where there is a large search space and we don't have depth of the solution. We don't know what is the depth of the solution, where we are going to explore as the combination of both BFS and DFS, and then we can get the solution at that scenario. So with the help of this iterative deepening search, we can search some solution where the search space is very large and depth is unknown. The depth is unknown. So now I guess you got the ideas of the iterative deepening search. So now we can discuss about the iterative deepening A star search. So if we talk without the discussion, if we talk about these two search techniques, iterative deepening search and iterative deepening A star search, what is the type of this both techniques? So what is the type of this iterative deepening A star search? If you look into the some whatever the discussion or we did about the iterative deepening search. So you can see here the word here used is the A star. You can see the word, the term here used is the A star, and A star is what? Informed. Yes, yes, Parth and Harsh, you are correct. If we don't discuss anything till now, and if we talk about the just taking the word, then we can say that the iterative deepening search is a type of the informed search, whereas the iterative deepening search is the uninformed search. So this is a simply informed search. If this is the informed search, then what it has inside? If we are going to say that this is the informed search, then what kind of things is taken in the iterative deepening search, iterative deepening A star search consideration? So we have to just simply look out that what is the informed search. What is the informed search? So can anybody tell me what is the informed search? What is the informed search? Anyone can tell me what is the informed search? We know that we have two type of search technique. One is the informed search and second is the uninformed search. So by looking the term mentioned in the heading, we saw that it is a type of informed search. So what is the informed search? The question comes is, what is the informed search? Yes, Harsh, you can.
Ma'am, informed search tries to read it uh, tries to take less space and depends on the decision of the
Okay.
algorithm. So it takes smart decisions like it can reduce the traversal and get to reach the goal fast.
Okay, okay. It means if we talk about, then we can say that the iterative deepening search, iterative deepening A star search is going to take the problem statement as well as whatever the method applied for this one. It means it consider what is the working procedure for the A iterative deepening A star, and on that it is going to be apply some function. It is going to apply some function. On the basis of that function, we can take decision. So why we want decision? Because we are interested to find out the optimal solution. So if we talk about the informed search, so it is going to take the problem statement and whatever the method is going to be applied plus heuristic function, plus heuristic function, and this heuristic function is for decision making. This heuristic function for decision making, where the uninformed search is like this. Uninformed just try to take only problem statement and method. It just only consider problem statement and method. So if he applying some decision making, then again whatever the Hershey says is correct. It means it is going to be give solution with the efficient memory management, and you can say time concept or time scenarios like that. So this is the simple two type of search: informed search and uninformed search. So informed search is going to give solution, where the informed search is going to consider problem statement, method plus heuristic function. After taking these three values, he is going to give the goal, whatever the problem we have. And in uninformed search, the search strategy is just simply take the problem statement and method, and after that it is going to give the goal. This is the two type of search: informed search and uninformed search. So here we are saying that the iterative deepening search Here we are saying that this iterative deepening search is type of the informed search. So what is going to take this iterative deepening search? It take problem statement. After that, whatever the working method, and the working method is just to be discussed previously, and like that it is going to combine BFS and DFS to get the goal. And also besides these two things, it is going to apply some heuristic function, and with the help of that heuristic function he is going to get the solution as faster as possible. He is going to get solution that is much optimal, and that is going to be as faster as compared to previous one. So is there any doubt in the discussion of the heading of this iterative deepening A star search? So here we have some heuristic function. It means whatever the node is going to be selected for the expansion is based on this function. Whatever the node, suppose here, currently I am here at the A, and now I have two values B and C. So after the A, it means when I'm going to say from A, I am going to start from A. After the A, which is going to be selected, that can be a C, that can be a B. Whatever the node is going to be expanded, that is based on this value. That is based on this value. So the node expansion is based on the function, that is the evaluation function, and evaluation function is just simply like that, f of n equals to g of n plus h of n, where we already know that g of n is the cost to travel from a node to the root node to the node. So suppose I am going to say that this is the 7. So the cost given taken from A to C is the 7, then the value is the 7. The value of g of n is the 7. And second is the heuristic cost, and this heuristic cost is the heuristic estimate of the cost to travel from n to goal. Suppose I am going to say that I am at A. So this A is going to say that I can drop you at the goal with the cost of 100. So this is the heuristic value. This is the heuristic value. Suppose the C is saying that I can drop you at the goal with the cost of the 50. So this is the heuristic value. And this is saying that I can drop you at the goal with the 60, then this is the heuristic value. And here 6, this is the value of GM, that is from A to B. Is there any doubt? Hello? So this is a iterative deepening search is a type of informed search. Informed search means we are going to take the problem statement as well as the working method plus some heuristic function to take this decision where we want to go next. So this is the things related to this one, where we can say that we are going to use some function, and in this function, the function is the evaluation function, that is f of n, which is equals to g of n plus h of n, where we already know that g of n is the cost to travel from root to the node n, and you can say that h of n is the heuristic function, that is the cost to travel from n to goal. Suppose I am going to A to C. So A is going to say that I can drop you at the C with the maximum cost of the 100. So these are the some terminologies related to this iterative deepening search. That just similar to A star search. Just similar to A star search. So the how the iterative deepening A star work, it means how it is going to take decision. So it means you can see this is the iterative. It means it consider each and every iteration, and each and every iteration it is going to apply the heuristic function. It is going to consider iteration 1, and after the completion of the iteration 1, it is going to be apply the heuristic function where the node is going to be expanded. It means which node is going to be expanded next. So in this scenario, at each iteration, it perform iterative deepening search, perform depth first search and cutting off a branch when its total cost is exceed from this value. The total cost is exceed from the this value. It means for each and every node we have to calculate this value, and we have to cut any branch that have the cost which is greater than this value. So like that it is start, and in this we always start with the threshold. We always start with the threshold, and using that threshold we are going to estimate the cost. It means we are taking first initial threshold and we have to expand on the basis of this function, and when we are getting something we can increase by updating the threshold values. So this threshold start at the estimate of the cost at each initial state and increases for each iteration of the algorithm. It means when we are going to explore or we are going to next iteration, then it is going to be updated. So at each iteration, the threshold used for the next iteration is the minimum cost of the values that exceeded the current threshold. It means in the each iteration, now suppose you can see my threshold value is the 3, and here you can see this is the 3, this is the 4, and this is the 3. And in this 3 I have two values, one is the 5, one value is the 6, like this. One value is the 6. So now we are going to expand the root value. So here you can consider g of n is equals to 0 now, and h of n is these values, these 3, 4, 3, 5, 6. H of n, these are the values. Suppose I am going, I am here, I am at this state. It means I am at the start position. So it is going to say that this is the threshold. So threshold is 3. It means we have to explore this one. So now new node that is going to be explored is this one, and now next is also this one. This is also similar to threshold. It means now the next values with 3 is also going to be explored. So now the new values I got is 4, 5, 6. The new values I got when I explore this till threshold 3, I got is 4, 5, 6. So which is the lowest among these 4, 5, 6? This is the 4, and that is the greater than 3. Greater than 3. So next threshold that is going to be updated with the value 4. Like this, it is going to update the threshold. So at each iteration, it is going to perform the depth first search, and it is going to cut the branches where the total cost is going to be exceed from the f of n equals to g of n plus h of n at given threshold, and this threshold start at the estimate of the cost at each initial state and increase for iteration of the algorithm. And each iteration, at the each iteration we have to update the threshold, and we have to take minimum cost of the all values that is exceeded the current threshold. So here you can see this is the one tree. Here is the one tree. So here you can say the initial threshold is 3. Now we can say initial threshold is 3. So which node is going to be explored? If I am saying that the initial threshold is 3, then which node is going to be explored? Whatever the node we have values that is less than or equals to 3 is going to be explored. Whatever the node we have that is the less than 3 or equals to 3 is going to be explored. So what are the values? So here you can see the 1 that is also less than this 3. So now this is going to explore. Now this is the 3. So this is also equals to 3. So this is also going to explore. So in the next threshold, we are going to update values. We are going to the node in the first iteration comes like this one. 1, 3, because 3 is equals to 3, the threshold value, so we have to explore child of this one also. Again we are getting the 3, that is equals to the 3, so we have to explore the child of the 3 also. So now in the next iteration we have to update the threshold. So when we are going to discuss, so till now we have 3, and when we explored till threshold 3, we got new values, that is 4, 7 and 6. So which one is the lowest among these 3 values? So 4. New value is what? 4. So updated threshold is 4. Updated threshold is 4. So now we have to explore all the nodes till value 4. So in the second iteration, in the first iteration we got this the red colored value. In the first iteration we got like this. What is the in the second iteration? So in the second iteration, again this 1 is also less than the 4, so this is going to be explored. This 3 is also less than the 4, so this is again going to explore, and this is the 4 that is just equals to the threshold value, so it is going to explore, and the child of this one also, 6 and 7. This 3 is also like this. So this is 6, 7, so nothing. So this is also 4, so this is also going to explore here, and here values are 5. When we explore threshold 4, what values we get? 6, 7, again 7, 6, 5. We got 6, 7, 5. So in this, so this is in the iteration 1. This is in the iteration 2. Now we have to go to the iteration number 3. So what is the updated threshold? The updated threshold is, so updated threshold is 5. So now we have to explore till the threshold value 5. Now we have to explore till the threshold value 5. So in the third iteration, what we get? This 1 is also less than, this 3 is also less, this 4 is also less, and this 6, 7, this 3 is also 7, 6, this 4 also, this is the 5, so again 5 and 7, and this 5, so again this is the 6, and this is the 8, and for this one 12 and 6. So what we get this time? 6, 7, again 6, 7, after this 12, after this what we get next? 8. So which one is lowest among these? So in the iteration number 4, we have updated threshold is equals to 6. It means in the fourth iteration we have to explore till threshold value 6. So now again the 1 is also, now this 1 is again also the lowest as compared to 6. So this is also, this is also, this is also. Now we are going to 11, 13 and 7 also, and this values also, and this is the just because of 6, and this and here is the 12 and 6, here is the 7. So when we explore up to threshold number 6, what we get? 11, 13, 7, 12, again 12, 6, 7, 7, 13, or 8. So which is lowest among these four values? 7. So in the iteration number 5th, this iteration number 5th, updated threshold is 7. So we have to explore till value 7. So again, this is going to be explored. This is also, 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 this also, this also, this, and this 6. So this one, this one, this one also, this one also, this one also, this value also, this value also. When we have 7, we have to explore the this one also. So now we get the goal. We have to stop here. Now this is the goal and we have to stop here. So did you got some ideas about the iterative deepening A-star search? So we will next again discuss some points about this one in the next lecture. So I guess you got some ideas. So we will continue from this one in the next lecture also. So now I am going to take attendance. So one is the Akash,
Yes, ma'am.
Abdul, Alap,
Yes, ma'am.
Ankur,
Yes, ma'am.
okay, Ayush Jain, Ayushi Mehta,
Present, ma'am. Present,
okay,
ma'am.
Brijesh, Daksh,
Yes, ma'am.
Darshit,
Yes, ma'am.
Daksh, why you not submitted assignment 1?
What?
Daksh, assignment 1, why you not submitted assignment 1?
वो tutorial और assignment same ही थे ना?
No, they are different. Tutorial means whatever we discuss in the lab session, and assignment is